Hey, hello, what's up everybody? WhatCulture's Adam Clery here. Yes, that's right, if Simon can do my videos, then I can do his. That's the rule. That's right, coming up this very weekend is NXT TakeOver in your house. It's WWE attempting to do something nice in the future by reminding us of something nice in the past, basically trying to spoon feed us a load of drippy, warm nostalgia so that we don't really look at all the horrible things that are going on at the minute. And as a result, this is an NXT TakeOver. It's got all the big NXT championships on it. It's got all the big NXT stars on it, but it doesn't really have that, like, big event, moment in history takeover feel that we normally get. And I will say part of the reason for that is because nothing can feel like that at the minute because everything is horrible. Nonetheless, though, the card is pretty stacked, if you want my opinion. Like, Karrion Kross makes his proper NXT in-ring debut, no offense to Leon Ruff. With that one, Charlotte, she's on loan from the main roster. She's defending the Women's Championship. Adam Cole defending the NXT Championship. And the tag team titles in Breezango is happening too. But what is going to happen is the question I presume you're asking if you clicked on this video. And since I am sat on the other side of the screen, hello, isn't this weird? Let's touch hands for a second. Ooh, I felt that. That was really nice. I am going to answer that for you, being as I am the NXT dork. So, that rambling introduction aside, you can tell I've never done one of these before. My name is Adam Clery, and these are all the predictions, is that how you do it? For NXT TakeOver in your house, or something. Alright, so I'm going to open up with the most recently announced match. Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Nox and Mia Yim will be taking on Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai and Mirror Universe Candice LeRae. Ooh, she's evil. Now, this match is very much a product of these women have had a lot of TV time lately, but we don't really know what to do with any of them. Tegan Nox has had problems with pretty much every single person in this match. Dakota Kai has no real beef with Shotzi Blackheart, but keeps beating up on her. Mia Yim's only there for Candice, but Candice is feuding with Nox, and it's a lot of different elements in this match, all making one 6-woman tag. Now, a lot of us actually suspected that the Mia Yim Candice LeRae situation would be resolved in a mixed tag team match with Gargano and Keith Lee. Team Yimitless, love that, versus the world's worst dinner party, but we already got that on the Go Home episode of NXT. Just as a slight aside, by the way, if you did watch my episode of Ups and Downs for this week's NXT, I just want to let you know how cross I am with myself for not realizing that there's a great Go Home show for In Your House joke somewhere. I still don't have it. I don't know what the joke is, but it's there, isn't it? Anyway, just going through the competitors really quickly. Mia Yim has been on something of a surge. She had a great match with Charlotte. She's getting a far bigger slice of the television pie at the minute. Shotzi Blackheart, she got that, amazing tank promo. Dirty blonde, tanks don't give a shit, yow, etc, etc. I really like that. And Tegan Nox, she delivered some pizza very recently, so that's the faces. As for the heels, Raquel Gonzalez is finally establishing herself as a proper bruiser in this division, rather than just being someone who gets distracted incredibly easily and rolled up. Dakota Kai's character work has been excellent, but it's kind of gone off the boil a little bit, and Candice LeRae, as mentioned, is evil. This is one of those classic situations where, with nothing to actually offer any of these people individually, they usually just hand the win to the heels, because heels always could use another win here and there. Plus, there's so many different moving parts in this match, nobody's really going to be hurt by taking the loss. Whoever gets pinned probably won't be to blame for the result, so this is almost certainly going to be a win for the heels. What I will say, though, weirdly, is I really hope it's Mia Yim who takes the pin here, because she's got the most natural story going out of it and something she would like to avenge. Whereas Shotzi Blackheart, she lost right after getting that tank promo, which kind of hurt her a little bit, and Tegan Nox hasn't really done much of anything lately. Those two can ill afford to be the person on their back when that 3 count comes. Whereas Mia Yim, it gives her something to work towards. LeRae's bested her in a singles match, she's bested her in a tag team match, now she's bested her in a 3-women tag team match. It's just, I'd like them to do that, so the heels. Next up is a contest that I completely forgot was actually happening, as Finn Balor takes on Damian Priest in a match. Let's see if I can get this right. It came about because Finn Balor was doing a thing, and then the Velveteen Dream was there, so Finn Balor was going to fight the Velveteen Dream, but somebody took Finn Balor out before he could fight the Velveteen Dream, so then he came back, wanted to know who it was, even though Dexter Lumis had filled in for Finn Balor to thingy with the Velveteen Dream, and then Cameron Grimes attacked him, and then they got into an argument with Grimes, and then it transpired that the person who attacked him originally was Damian Priest. You get all that? Now, despite the mystery attacker angle being quite good and Balor already kind of starting that face turn with the Walter feud, this is a really weird one because they revealed that Priest was the bad person, and then they've done virtually nothing with it on television since. It's a match that kind of feels like it exists in isolation. And the weird thing is, neither of these men can lose this. Once everything's calmed down, they're going to want to go back to Balor versus Walter, aren't they? And you need Balor fairly strong if he's going to be believable to take on somebody of the caliber of Walter. You can't have him walking into a United Kingdom Championship feud having just lost his most recent bout. And Damian Priest, he hasn't won much of anything lately. They presented him as a really big, genuine threat, a great competitor who was just unlucky to come up short against Keith Lee. You can't have him lose this as well. That was Dominik Dijakovic's problem. He was good, but he always lost. They can't have somebody else in that role. Which disappointingly means the only real option they've got here is Damian Priest cheating to beat Finn Balor. You kind of have to stretch this out a little bit longer so Priest can rack up some wins, can rack up some positives to take from the feud before eventually you let Balor overcome him. So yeah, Damian Priest, I would suspect, is going to win this. If he doesn't, what the hell do you do with him? The guy can't beat anybody. There is one way Finn Balor could win this, but no, that's not going to happen, and I'll tell you why later. Next up is a match I don't think anybody would ever have predicted, because Breezango will be taking on Imperium for the NXT Tag Team Championships at oh god, sorry, I'm really sorry, I gotta take this. Hello? It's not in your house. So they're not number one they are number one contenders, yeah. Right, so they crowned them number one contenders at the go-home show for In Your House, but the show they're going to get the challenge for the belts on isn't going to be In Your House, is what you're saying. Right, okay. And sorry, what? And they couldn't have done that next week because this company. Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano now. And look, if you haven't been watching my NXT Ups and Downs, I have been praising this angle to the high hilt because I absolutely could not stand Gargano and Candice LeRae in this role. I didn't buy them as credible threats. They weren't heels that made any sense. Everything they were talking about was just a load of nonsensical, delusional rubbish. And then, of course, the penny drop. That's exactly the kind of characters they're supposed to be playing. Haha, I got worked, and it's actually really good. Just think, when was the last time some obnoxious heels on WWE made you more interested in seeing their matches as opposed to just changing the channel or turning it off? I cannot wait to see Keith Lee get his hands on Johnny Gargano. I want Keith Lee, and I've got no qualms about saying this, to bounce Candice LeRae into Johnny Gargano so hard that the pair of them need to be identified by air crash investigators. They have made me want to see that. And you know what? Even though I think there is still so much for Keith Lee to do with this championship, it's been such an underwhelming run so far. I mean, aside from those 8 million Dominik Dijakovic matches, I think Gargano is gonna beat him here. I think the payoff to this is in the return match of Lee getting that belt back, and you've just done too much good work with Gargano being somebody you are desperate to see get a kicking that, well, he doesn't get a kicking. Is what I would be saying was I not painfully aware of how NXT have been booking everything during this global health situation thingy that's still going on. They are rushing through absolutely everything at a million miles an hour. Look at Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher. Look how quickly they got through that feud. They did like tag team buddies to tag team champions to tag team defense to bit of tension to the breakup to the implosion to the first match to the payoff match in 3 weeks. Like there's yeah. Keith Lee's gonna win this. Finally, he's gonna get his hands on Johnny Gargano. They could stretch this out for weeks, if not months. They will not. Keith Lee will beat the piss out of him in this match. That's my official prediction. And speaking of getting beaten out of somebody, Tommaso Ciampa and Karrion Kross. Now, I would love to break this down into a load of different reasons and give you some real insight. Some rebel insight. It's a word I've just made up. I would love to give you 5 whole minutes of it right now, but I can't because this is Karrion Kross's proper debut in NXT. Yes, again, as I said at the start, no disrespect to Leon Ruff, but that was a little squash, and then he threw Bronson Reed once, and that wasn't really too much. This is his first proper match in the company. There is no way in hell he loses this match. He has to come in, he has to not only make a statement in the match, but probably make an example of Ciampa. This is just such an obvious Kross win. That means the result is not the interesting part of this match. The manner of it is instead. Tommaso Ciampa's going to get beat here, but he is one of the biggest names in the whole company. He just lost the Johnny Gargano feud, which started because he lost the Adam Cole feud. 3 big defeats in a row. It's catastrophic for a character, and you would imagine, much like Dominik Dijakovic has had to because he's become a perennial loser in his big matches, Ciampa's going to have to go away for a little while after this, really reevaluate, really reconsider himself, maybe tweak his character a little bit more. It doesn't feel like it's enough now for him to just be a good version of that old Ciampa. He's going to have to come back as somebody else. I don't know who, I don't know what, but he doesn't win this match at all, and not winning it carries consequences. I think I said it at the time, after he lost the Gargano, if you put him in something further down the card, give us a more interesting story that's not necessarily going to carry such a high profile match, and let him win that to build himself up. But no, they went the cross route. They put him in at the deepest possible end. And when he loses this match, and I would imagine loses it quite convincingly in the end, God knows what comes next. As for Cross, he must bulldoze Ciampa in this match. He must win decisively, probably to the point that they don't even necessitate a second go around. And from there, well, I just look at the entire rest of that roster. You could have him up against Keith Lee, you could have him against Velveteen Dream. There are a load of faces in this company that are going to have nothing to do after their blow-off match at this pay-per-view. So, kind of impressed really, because NXT felt it was funneling itself down some very obvious corridors. It felt like the top of the card was going to be the same faces over and over again. And even though we haven't changed the champion yet, it still feels like the doors are opening quite wide. So this match is not interesting in terms of the result. We know who's going to win it, but just where NXT goes from here, it carries significance. And speaking of significance, let me tell you now why Charlotte Flair will be retaining that NXT Women's Championship. No, I listen. I look at the tweets I get sent every so often. People are like, oh, I hate that Charlotte Flair is on NXT. She has to win all the time. She's like the lady. Roman Reigns, I hate her so much. Adam, don't you hate her too? And I reply simply, no, and then mute you. Because this is the thing, right? If Charlotte Flair retired tomorrow, she would probably already be the single greatest women's wrestler in WWE history. She just, like, you can look at that from the perspective of what she's achieved, which is of course all kayfabe, or just look at it from the perspective of just how good she is. You name me any single woman in this company and tell me who her best match on the main roster is against. Ronda? Probably Charlotte. Becky? Probably Charlotte. Sasha Banks? Probably Charlotte. Bayley? Probably Charlotte. Asuka? Alright, okay, that was the Sasha Banks match, but you get the point. Wait, no, it wasn't. It was that title match on SmackDown. That was Charlotte too. Whoever finally dethrones her and brings that belt back to NXT is a star overnight. They always talk about how nobody can live with her on this brand. When she loses on the main roster, it's fine. She's got equality. Everyone in there are her peers. They can trade wins and losses like it's no big deal. But here, it's NXT. Charlotte is above every single person on it. She came in, she took the belt, and no one has been able to touch her. That's when somebody finally does. What does that say about them? It says they're the best. And this is the thing. Io Shirai is my favourite performer in NXT, and even I will tell you she is in this match to eat the L. That's why it's a triple threat match. They don't see Io as a potential holder of this belt. They don't want to have Charlotte beat Rhea Ripley again, and they can't have Rhea Ripley beat Charlotte already. That feels like one of the things they're saving until crowds are back in, if indeed they ever are back in. So sadly, Charlotte wins this match and she beats Io in the process. But here's the thing, I'm here to tell you to not be sad about it, to not go moaning on social media when it happens, because it'll be a really good wrestling match. They've done the screwy finishes. They've done the non-finishes. They're not going to do that again. I surely hope we're just going to get a really good thing with a really good decisive finish, and Charlotte and Rhea and Io are going to be great. Not only is my prediction that Charlotte wins this match, my prediction is this is match of the night. And finally, what will presumably be the main event of the evening is Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream in a it's your last chance ever buddy match for the NXT Championship. And this has not been a good feud. Like, you all remember Velveteen Dream, he came back from injury, went after Roderick Strong, and everyone was like, aha, yes, that makes sense, good feud, that one. But then, no, Velveteen Dream was like, haha, I fooled you all, I'm actually here to go after Adam Cole, as all this evidence, please don't look at the evidence, will indicate. And everyone just sat at home going, no it doesn't. You had Marina Shafia's face on your dick. Then the build was even more confusing and we had that really underwhelming television main event and everyone was, I don't really know what's going on. Why is Adam Cole doing all of his stuff from his pool and on Skype? It was just horrible. And then they had the match and I was like, well, at least that's over. But it wasn't over, was it? Thus ends my negativity over this though, because since then they've moved away from that really confusing story to make this about a prodigy, about Velveteen Dream, about how good he is, about how nobody knows how good he is, and about how overconfident the champion is, about how on paper there is no way Dream can touch Cole, but we don't know how good he is and we don't know how relaxed Cole is as well. They've managed to create a groundwork here of anything being able to happen. Now just here is all the stuff that's floating around this about the breakup of the Undisputed Era, how Cole keeps upstaging strong, how that tension is building. This could happen. This could blow up in a year's time. It could blow up on Sunday. I don't know. We're just going to put that away for a minute. We'll come back to that when it finally happens, but it's there. You keep an eye on that. I'm just going to say this. Cole retains. It's just that stipulation, isn't it? Velveteen Dream can never again challenge for the NXT Championship if he loses this match. And you don't tend to put those stipulations into matches if there's not a point to them. Like if he wins, you didn't need to do that. It's just have him win anyway. This kind of feels like it's there because that's exactly what's going to happen, and Velveteen Dream won't get another shot until someone else dethrones Cole, which when you think about it, makes the most amount of sense. I'm not anticipating a classic here. Like this won't be anything other than a 15 or 20 minute match, a typical NXT TakeOver main event where the Undisputed Era, who don't have a match that night, let's not forget, get involved constantly and Velveteen Dream battles them off and there's false finish, and eventually Adam Cole wins. That is what I predict will happen, a by the numbers Adam Cole title retention. However, there is just a chance that this is the breakup of the Undisputed Era and Roderick Strong costs Adam Cole that championship. Do I think that will happen? No. But it could. So there you have it. Those are all my predictions for NXT TakeOver in your house happening this very weekend. Please do keep it tuned to WhatCulture for all the coverage around that event. Simon Miller will be back with ups and downs for that, although tends not to wear yellow, does he, when he does those? Someone's still not over Survivor Series. Anyway, let me know what you made of them all in the comments below. Of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Boy, I hope I'm right about all of them. I suspect I am. Would love to be wrong, but in the meantime, see you soon. Mwah, kisses, bye, etc.